Hi guys, Asmo here. Since heists seem to be a little bit bugged so far, I didn't record a video about heists, even though I wanted to do that, but the grand heists are still reportedly bugged, and basically you enter it and then you cannot enter any of the wings. So before I go hard all in into heists with all of the heists that I have here, I'm going to figure out what kind of a character I can make for my second character of the league, which is not the league starter, because I finished the Atlas, I got all of the watchstones, so I can do whatever I want now. So the character that I'm going to be playing is going to be one of the least popular ascendancies with one of the least popular skills, and all of that is inspired pretty much by this alternative quality gem, because since we've got these alternative quality gems, and I don't know if they're gonna stay in the game, probably they are. If I had to guess, probably Heist is supposed to go core. I'm gonna be using Anomalous Reave. So the Anomalous Reave is an alternative quality that gives you 100% of physical damage converted to a random element. So that means you keep hitting with the Reave, and one hit is gonna be fire, lightning, fire, cold, cold, lightning, fire, and it's just gonna randomly hit with whatever element. Like all of the physical damage is going to be converted. This gives you a lot of opportunities for like crazy different things. So I went first to Path of Building to figure out what ascendancy would work with it well, and I figured that Raider is something that would actually work pretty fucking great with that. So first of all, we are getting here increased elemental damage, which is generic increased elemental damage. Of course, all of this synergizes with attacks. So if we're playing an attack skill, then that synergizes with it. And here we have nearby enemies have fire, cold, and the lightning exposure while you have phasing. So that is minus 15% to those resistances. So we are shredding 15% of all elemental resistances, which is amazing. So also, nearby enemies have less accuracy rating, and we are stacking evasion. This also gives us extra movement speed, ailment immunity, and spell dodge. This gives us attack dodge. This gives us phasing while we have onslaught or at maximum frenzy charges. I was considering whether I should go like this way for the rapid assault here with the onslaught, or if I should go this way for the avatar of the slaughter, because I want the frenzy charge generation on bosses easily, because I will be 100% relying on the frenzy charges. However, I did the math, and with this actually, if I have another source of onslaught, then it's definitely better to go for this. Not only this gives me better defense, but also gives me more movement speed than onslaught, more attack speed than onslaught, and just also on top of that, more damage and more evasion rating. So this is way better this way, especially if we're gonna scale like significant amount of frenzy charges. So that's basically what the build is going to be: Elemental Reave with frenzy charges scaling. And then for the weapon choice, I want to go focus on avoidance. So I was thinking of going for a shield, and then that allows me to, for example, either skip acrobatics and pick up phase acrobatics through perfect form, right? Where is it? Let me show you. So perfect form would be a great chest for this. This is what people do on Raider a lot of the time. Basically you get Arctic armor for free, and then you get phase acrobatics. And it gives you a bunch of evasion. However, for now, I think like maybe this is gonna be the better one once I get enough damage. But until I get enough damage, I thought there are also other candidates for the chest armor. So let's go through these, and because this is gonna be a little bit of a theory crafting video, I'm gonna show you basically how I went through the process of figuring out this build. And meanwhile, I'll show some footage of leveling the character, because I just finished leveling the character through a story and got it 2 maps pretty much. So some of the things that we could use, we could of course always use Queen of the Forest, because we're going to be stacking a lot of evasion, so we would have like the maximum movement speed from that. Perfect form is a great candidate for it because of the phase acrobatics. 30% spell dodge is amazing. Another thing we could use, what do we have here? There was some other chest other than the one that I'm actually going to be using that I was looking at. Lore Weave, that's it. Lore Weave is another good one because you can get the maximum elemental resistances, and then you have other sources of of like mitigating physical damage, and this gives you crit chance, which is important for my build. This gives you added phys damage, which is great. This gives you some added life, resistances, and the elemental damage, right? Increased elemental damage. This doesn't give me evasion, which sucks, but that's one of the better chests to get. So, but still, you have to 6-link that. And another one is Carcass Jack. Carcass Jack is also pretty okay because we are dealing, I think it does count as area damage. If I look at it, it's attack, AoE, melee. Yeah, so it does deal area damage, and it is AoE. So the increased AoE would definitely help you with that. So Carcass Jack would definitely work as well. But the item that I'm actually gonna be using is going to be Shroud of the Lightless. So I already got one. And it's so easy to 5-link this, that's why you can get it really early, level 71. So as soon as you get into maps, pretty much you can almost equip it. I'm gonna need to get some int. How much int do I have? 110, and this needs 122. So I need 12 int somewhere. That's gonna be very easy to get. And the cool thing about it is that socketed gems are supported by level 25 elemental penetration. That gives me, I think, 37%. Penetration for all the resistances. So that means whether I roll fire or cold or lightning in my hits, then I'm going to be fully benefiting from that. So that is my pretty much 6th link, and then the 5 are gonna be whatever I like. Anomalous Reave, that's 1. Multi-strike, that's another 1. Elemental damage with attacks, that's another 1, and then 2 of the ones that, let's see, whatever, depending on like what's gonna be the best, like whether the percentage is gonna be better, like added fire damage or added cold or added lightning. That probably depends on the weapon I'm gonna have, and maybe also the attack speed, right? So that's gonna be something that's determined later, like the last couple of links. In terms of leveling, I can tell you that leveling is pretty slow. It's you definitely don't want to level it as Reave, because this is a collection of all the weapons I had. I was using like Wanderlust and Goldrim, and I was using these gloves for Rampage and increased attack speed. Also had Belt of the Deceiver, two of the Blackheart rings, and I was using at first Red Beak. Then at level 20 you got Tempestuous Steel, which is a great elemental damage hit because you penetrate 30% elemental resistances. Then I was using Kaitus Needle or whatever it's called. This is a very good weapon. This is probably the best out of those. Then I had like just a random rare I made, and Ichimonji, and now I made a random rare and it's better than the Ichimonji already, so I'm just using this for now. I made it with like 2 essences, you know, that's it, and I didn't figure out which weapon I'm gonna be using in the end game yet, but probably some kind of a crafted foil because I can benefit from the added elemental damages as well, and something like that definitely is going to be useful. I was also using the Lyco shield for hits cannot be evaded because we are going crit. And I was using Carnage Heart, Tabula, and that's pretty much it for the leveling setup. In terms of the stacking of the frenzy charges, what we're doing is we're getting the Way of the Poacher for +1 to maximum charges. Then we're picking the 3 from the passive skill tree. So that gives us already 3, 6, 7. Then we're getting 8 from the boots and 9 from the gloves, and then we can get also precursor ranks that can give you like 11. You can also corrupt the boots. I'm not sure if it's boots or boots and gloves, but you can get like 12 frenzy charges in the like optimized setup. With 12 frenzy charges, you're gonna be moving so crazy fast. Look at all the bonuses. Like, let's not count 12, let's count just 10, okay? Because you cannot rely on like the corruptions. So if you count 10, what we get from the frenzy charges is 5% increased movement speed times 10, that's 50, right? Everything basically times 10. 20% chance to dodge attack hits. Then we've got 80% evasion rating, 30% movement speed, 30% attack speed, and then 80% attack damage, right? Another thing we get is also these nodes. This is another 80% damage. This is 20% attack speed, 20% movement speed, and then 50% evasion rating. These are just crazy. Like, these bonuses are absolutely crazy. For the priority on the passive skill tree, we definitely want crit chance because we want to crit consistently. Like if we can crit like 50% of the time, we're pretty good already, because what we want to make sure that we're doing is applying all the ailments. So applying ignite every now and then, applying shock every now and then, and freezing every now and then, or chilling at least, right? So that's something that we want to do as well, that we have also additional chance to freeze, shock, and ignite. So we're going for like the sword nodes. I might go for daggers or claws later on, because all of those can be used with Reave, but for now I just went with swords, and I'll see how it goes. And yeah, basically just prioritizing life, attack speed, crit, and damage with swords, and then I'll get also some block and AoE. The AoE is important. That's the one thing. Like Reave is a really shitty skill by its own. It's a very, very outdated skill. You can even tell by like, you can hardly see that there's anything going on the screen because of the animation. It's so shitty. I might get the MTX for it, but I don't like being forced to get MTX because I literally can't see my fucking skill. So this is like the least popular attack skill and like least popular ascendancy, and that's what we're basically gonna do. Later on I might go toward either this life, or I might go toward like picking up life here, picking up life here, and picking up like this crit wheel or something like that, and maybe the sword. Definitely we want a lot of chance to crit, attack speed, just elemental damage, and scaling all of the frenzy charges. We're going to be going also for a bunch of jewel sockets, because all of the jewel sockets that we're going to be getting are going to be basically benefiting the Shroud of the Lightless, because you get 1% increased maximum life and maximum mana per jewel, Abyss jewel affecting you. So already we got one here, and we're gonna have like 5 on 3 maybe, right? So we're gonna have like 6% increased max life, 6% increased max mana. We might get some extra, I don't remember what other items, but the gloves and boots are the ones that people normally would extract jewels, get extra jewels, but we're not gonna be getting them because these boots and these gloves are pretty important, because they give you +1 to maximum frenzy charges, which is super important for this build. But definitely gonna have Abyss Jewel in the belt, but right now I'm wearing this crazy belt that I found in just randomly mapping. It's the craziest item I probably ever found, like increased elemental damage with attack skills on top of like triple res, almost 100 life on this base, like just a crazy belt that I found. I'm also using like an item that I bought for like, this is the good thing, it's very cheap. I bought it for like 10C. The 40% Reave damage, and then a big life and 2 big res, you know, so that's a very good thing to get started mapping with. So that's basically what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be figuring out this build, and it's gonna be pretty tanky, and we're gonna make it do a decent amount of damage, and it's gonna be very fast. Like it's gonna be crazy fast. So the only thing that I'm worried about is like the single target damage, because we're gonna be really fast. We're keeping up Val Reave, even though I don't know if you can even get, I don't think there is any yet, alternative quality Val Reave. Like you would have to like double corrupt and hope for the Val, and maybe like level 21 or something. But for now I'm just using the regular anomalous Reave, and then I pop Val Reave whenever I have it, and then I get up to 8 stacks, and then I just continue hitting with the 8 stacks with the anomalous Reave. So that's it, that's the build pretty much. Like it's gonna have a lot of dodge, a lot of evasion, a lot of block. I might later on decide to not go block and just go full dodge, or maybe go for the phase acrobatics chest. We'll see depending on the damage. If you have any feedback, if you have any tips for, or any like suggestions for like unique items or special mods that this build could benefit from, I definitely am gonna be checking out the comment section, and I'm gonna continue theory crafting this build. This is the dream for this league. This is the project for this league, to make Elemental Reave Lader, the anomaly Elemental Knight character. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.